Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to the Minecraft Survival Guide. I hope you guys are having a good day. We're starting off this episode in the Blacksmith's Guild here at Founder's Forge, which we built all those many moons ago. And this right here is a display of all the armor in the game, or is it? Today, we prove this case wrong because there is one piece of armor that we still have left to collect. It's actually a very rare piece of armor that you are not going to find most places. In fact, it requires the player to craft it. It cannot be traded. It cannot be got from a hostile mob. It is very rare indeed. And for that reason, today we are going out in search of the colony of turtles that we found in a previous episode because there was a new helmet added in the Update Aquatic version 1.13 for Java, and that is the turtle shell helmet. And that is only possible to get through breeding turtles. So today we're going to take a look at turtle breeding mechanics with a view to acquiring what is probably going to be the last piece of armor we actually need to get in the game until maybe, I don't know, maybe they update armor at some point in future. But here we go. Today we're going to go out in search of the turtle colony, and I think I remember where one is because if my memory serves, there was one over near the Guardian farm, which I think we can start to make use of. Before I go anywhere, I am going to grab a little bit of bone meal and some shears, along with a boat, because we need to get over to the Guardian farm. There's some shears, there we go. Because, as we'll know from a previous episode, we did actually breed a couple of turtles in one of the earlier episodes of this series, and turtles can only be bred using seagrass, and seagrass is something that you can only get from naturally spawned areas where it's kind of underwater in the swamps and in the oceans. I think there's a little bit that spawns in rivers as well, but you can just get it from bone mealing any kind of underwater area like so. You will get a whole bunch of seagrass that way, and we'll be able to shear a little bit of that and have plenty of it to help breed these turtles. So with the rather strange number of 29 seagrass in my inventory, let's set forth into the nether, head down to our tunnel over here, and take the boat path out to the Guardian farm, where we are going to find our way over to the Turtle Island, and hopefully some turtles will still be there. And here it is, our little turtle colony. I wonder if any of them are still around aside from that one. Oh, getting a little glitchy getting out of the boat. There we go, we've got a few of them here. Fantastic. Hopefully they're in the mood to breed, because I will try my best to explain turtle breeding mechanics while we are here. Now, turtles, once they breed together with seagrass, they breed much like any mob. You just give them both the food that they like, they enter love mode, and then you'll notice them digging around in the sand, quite like this. Good example. When you breed two turtles together, one of them will randomly receive an egg in its inventory, and when it gets the egg, it will make for what it thinks of as its home beach. Now, turtles in Minecraft actually kind of mimic the activity of sea turtles in the real world, where they kind of have a home that they return to every now and again to lay their eggs. They have a memory of sorts for a specific location in the world where they were planning on laying their eggs, and if they hatch from a turtle egg, this location, the beach that they spawn on, is basically what they remember as their home turf throughout the entirety of their life. So when these little turtle eggs here hatch, these turtles will remember this place as their home, and if they decide to breed and lay some eggs, they will come back here as well. So effectively, what you need to do to start a turtle colony is to either take one of these eggs to a different location and hatch it there, or convert one of these islands into a place where you will get a lot of turtles breeding. Now, hopefully to kickstart this process a little bit, we can get two of the other turtles to breed here, although I'm not entirely certain if this counts as the home island for all of these turtles, but it looks like there are a decent number that seem to come back here, so maybe if these two get together. This one seems to be kind of passive right now. Let's see if we can give him a nudge in the right direction. There you go, Flippers. Come on. Let's get this torch out of the way. I don't know if it will actually obstruct them, but there we go. We've got some digging in the sand happening. That means these turtles are probably going to produce an egg. And it seems like our friend over here has given us egg number 3. Fantastic stuff. Now, they will kind of hang around the eggs a little bit protectively, but they're not exactly able to defend against the eggs. And what they need to defend against is, as we've discussed in previous episodes, zombies and zombie pigmen, because occasionally those will end up hopping up and down on these eggs and trying to destroy them. Other mobs will do the same. Other variants of zombies, drowned, husks, that kind of stuff, they will all end up jumping up and down on eggs as well. So you want to make sure, if you're trying to breed turtles, that the area is well lit split up so that no mobs spawn at night, that you help to babysit the eggs a little bit. If you don't want them to be crushed while you're away, then it's probably a good idea to stay close. And also, if the area is surrounded by ocean, you want to keep an eye out for the drowned. If the area is completely landlocked, as you've taken some turtle eggs elsewhere to start your own turtle colony somewhere else, then you'll probably need to keep a perimeter fence around the place as well. And it looks like that turtle over there has laid an egg also. Fantastic stuff. Let's take a quick look at this. Aha! We have a cluster of eggs here. Fantastic. Now, of course, as a player, you've got to be careful not to stomp on them as well. So make sure you don't tread on the eggs. They will start to crack if you do that, and they will also start to crack once they begin to hatch. The eggs will go through several hatching stages where the eggs kind of crack a little bit each night, but it only happens overnight, and then it's still kind of random. So typically the process does take several nights to happen. There are a couple of tricks that we can use to speed up the process, but it does rely on us waiting until night is falling. And we've got a silk touch pickaxe. That's one of the other things that we will need potentially for this this whole egg hatching thing to take place. Now, I wonder if these two turtles are in the mood to breed again, because it might be, yeah, there might be enough time. Yep, okay, looks like we're potentially going to get another egg from those as well. The other one seems to have drifted off in that direction, so I wonder if we can lure it back over. Of course, this whole process, as with breeding any animals, is probably going to be a little bit faster when we have a lot more of the animal around. So hopefully once these turtles start to hatch, we can get a few more grown-up turtles around here, and we can breed a couple more times, and then we can get a sort of turtle factory going, because the turtle shell helmet, which is our goal at the end of all of this, requires 5 items from baby turtles. Now, don't worry, we're not going to be killing any of the turtles. The turtles are not going to be in danger from us, the player. Instead, the baby turtles, when they end up growing up into adults, will shed this item called a scoot, and 5 of those, in much the same recipe as you'll find any other helmet, makes a turtle shell helmet. So we kind of need to breed as many baby turtles as we possibly can here. We've got to defend our friends the turtles here from any overnight invaders. And yep, there we go, we got another egg. It's worth noting, just to avoid any confusion, that the egg hatching cycle is based on the time of day rather than it being anything to do with light level. Even if it is nighttime and it is dark, the eggs are going to hatch. Even if it's nighttime and the whole area is lit up, the eggs are still going to hatch. It's all to do with it being the nighttime of the day-night cycle. So we should keep an eye on these eggs to see if any of them progress through their hatching stages. But we're not going to be able to count on that happening tonight, so I might have to babysit these for a little bit longer than I would like to, but there we go. Wow, that time we got 4 turtle eggs from that one. Okay, well, there are some things we can do with this. Let's take our Silk Touch pickaxe out, and let's use that to break the eggs down into individual items, because breaking these out into individual eggs will give us slightly higher chances that these eggs might be able to hatch or progress through the hatching phase individually. And at that point, there's some stuff we can do to try and hatch more consecutively. Did you see that? Did you see that? We just got a couple of... Oh, that's good. That's a couple of hatching stages gone. There we go. You'll see on the right-hand side there, that one seems to be going as well. We get the hatch value of 2. Notice that the rest of these around here have a hatch value of 0. They've progressed 2 hatching stages. Oh, and that one just hatched right there in front of us. Fantastic. We got ourselves a baby turtle. Now, before this one hatches too much further, there is actually a little trick you can do. Notice that the eggs right now are in kind of single eggs. If we break these with a Silk Touch and then place another turtle egg on this block, it actually kind of groups together with that one and moves on a hatching stage. So if we group together some of the newer eggs, like these ones around here, we can group them together in up to 4, and they will take the same hatching stage as this one here, which means you can actually speed up the hatching process for a couple of these, because once this cluster here hatches, we will get 4 baby turtles out of that. So there's a neat trick that you can use if you want to speed up the hatching process for lots and lots of turtles. You will, again, need to babysit this quite heavily, but with a single night cycle, we have got 1 baby turtle and a few more that are a little bit closer to hatching. In fact, I might move a couple in with this little stack as well, because this seems to be moving on around the same pace as that one. So let me gather some of the others that have been laying overnight, thanks to our little group of turtles over here. And there we go. Now we've got 4 eggs on hatching phase 2. So 1 more phase of hatching, and those should all be hatching into little baby turtles for us, and then we will have a whole bunch of baby turtles ready, and the scoots will be flowing, ladies and gents. In the meantime, like with other animals, you can feed this baby turtle a little bit of seagrass to increase the likelihood that it will grow up a little bit faster, but you might not want to run out of seagrass completely. Then again, there's a lot of ocean around us right now, so you can probably go ahead and feed this one the rest of the seagrass, hoping that it will grow up a little bit quicker, and take our shears and go and shear some more. At this point, we might want to get a few fences or something like that and fence the baby turtles in, because they do have a tendency to swim off, and it's kind of important that we keep them around for the next phase of hatching, because we're going to need them to grow up around us and drop their scoots somewhere we can collect them. So I think I'll break out the wood chest and probably put together a few fences for a little turtle enclosure to go around these eggs. There we go! That one just grew up and got us a scoot. That is the first scoot, as you can tell from the fact that the recipe thing just unlocked, that I've ever gotten in this world. And so now this one should be a fully grown adult and ready to breed if it wants to, but also we should get ourselves a few more scoots once these baby turtles grow up into adults, and that will be enough to craft ourselves a turtle shell helmet. And remember what I said earlier about how the turtle having hatched here means that it will probably remember this as its home beach, and this turtle here, if it ends up laying some eggs, is going to lay them around this area. So it is definitely within your interests to keep the turtles around. If they end up swimming out of loaded chunks, they're not going to despawn, but it will be a difficult thing getting them back here or tracking the ones that have actually claimed this as their home beach. It may well be worth fencing them all in. Oh, look, this one's coming back, though. These ones do seem to stick around a little bit longer, and hopefully there's one out there that I think belongs to this beach as well. Hopefully that one will get within range relatively soon, and we can call it back in to mate for another time. And while we're waiting for our turtle friends to hatch in this next night, I'm actually going to do a little bit of terraforming around here. I'm going to try and convert this place into a slightly nicer looking tropical lagoon type of thing. We're going to build a couple of palm trees around here. The fence is mainly there for the protection of the turtles and making sure that the baby turtles don't go too far away. We're probably going to have to fill in the gaps in the fence just so the baby turtles don't tend to sneak outside of there, but in the grand scheme of things, I would like to turn this place into a little bit more of an aesthetic kind of, I don't know, beach resort type of thing in the long run. So how about we do a little bit of work around here, just making the place feel a little bit nicer. Welcome back, folks. The sun is rising on my little tropical turtle island. I've been doing a little bit of, dressing up the place, making a couple of custom trees. I'm still working on this one, but I ran out of jungle leaves and my shears are wearing down to the bone. Need to go and get myself a couple more shears. But the good news is that we've had a bunch of hatches overnight. I do occasionally keep missing the baby turtles because they end up going out to sea a little bit. And then when they grow up into adults, I assume they pop their scoots out over somewhere around there. It's a little bit too far away for me to collect the item in time. There's a large area over there to sweep if I see a new adult come in. And to be honest, I can't really keep track of them all. So having put a couple of little watery areas to get the babies accustomed to this place, they do seem a little bit happier being able to swim in and out of these pools. And I will try and build up the fence around here a little bit more so that they don't feel tempted to go too much further. But for now, I think we should be able to get a couple more scoots. I've managed to get 2 so far. Hopefully there will be a few more, and I can always spam some seagrass for these guys so that they are tempted to grow up a little bit faster. I think what this place really needs to turn it into a lovely tropical paradise is a little bit of coral and probably some sandstone slabs so that we can make the place feel a little bit more like a beach. There's a little bit more kind of texture around the place and it's not quite so blocky. I need to go and grab some more materials for that though, and I'm so excited for some of the other turtles to hatch. We have a couple of eggs which are moving on at this point, so I can probably group up some of the less hatched ones with those. And then we should just wait for another night and we should have a whole bundle of turtles on our hands. And that's our final scoot for the 5. Fantastic stuff. I do want to do so much more work around here. I really like this little turtle island that we're putting together. A lot of landscaping needed though, a lot of landscaping. And if we wanted to make this into a more efficient turtle colony, oh, there's scoot number 6, may as well grab that as well. If we wanted to make this into a more efficient turtle breeding area, then we could probably hem them in properly. But I like the idea of naturalizing this a little bit. We want to make sure that the turtles feel kind of at home. But there it is, ladies and gents, a turtle shell helmet, our first of the series, but not our last. actually, because this thing, while it's much like your average helmet, it will give you +2 armor, where the diamond helmet will give you +3, so it's basically the equivalent of an iron helmet. It does look kind of hilarious. It kind of looks like it's obscuring my eyes up in there, so I can't quite see anything, but you'll notice in the top right-hand corner, we have an effect. We have a water-breathing effect that lasts for 10 seconds on entry to the water. So you'll notice now it starts counting down. And once we get back up to the surface and onto dry land, the effect is going to refresh back to 10 seconds, meaning that every time we hop into the water, we get a little bit of bonus water-breathing time on top of the respiration that could be applied to the helmet as an enchantment. That means the turtle helmet is ideal for diving when you don't have access to water-breathing potions and so forth. But to be honest, by the time you end up breeding a bunch of turtles, you might have access to water-breathing anyway, so the effect isn't necessarily all that desirable. It's just kind of a fun thing to have, a neat little effect for the helmet, and the helmet itself does actually look kind of cool. It's nice to have a little bit of variation here and there. But despite how excited I am about finally getting hold of one of these helmets, I'm not actually going to wear it as a helmet. I'm going to head back to the farmhouse and explore one of the other neat things that you can do with the turtle shell helmet that might not be so apparent at first glance. And that is using it as a brewing ingredient. That's right, with an awkward potion made using a bottle of water and some netherwort, adding a turtle shell helmet will get you up to 3 potions of the Turtle Master, which is a really interesting effect, a brand new thing that's been added, and the first time outside of a beacon that you can get the resistance effect. Resistance 3, in fact, which is even higher than the resistance effect you get from a beacon. With the unfortunate side effect is that you also get inflicted with slowness 4. So you become the turtle, you become incredibly slow, but very well defended. For 20 seconds when you have the standard potion, and of course with redstone and glowstone dust, the effect can be either lengthened or intensified. With redstone, it gets up to 40 seconds duration instead of 20, and with glowstone, you actually end up with a potion that has the Turtle Master 2 effect, giving you slowness 6 and resistance 4. So if you want to become the slowest moving but best defended player on the map, get yourself a potion of Turtle Master 2. This is a really weird effect and not something that I ever really planned to use, but oh boy is it fun to have. 90% reduction in speed, but resistance 4. That's a really fun thing to have, and at some point we will need to drink one of these for a potion effect achievement or advancement called a Furious Cocktail, where you have to have every potion effect applied at the same time. So I'm going to stash that away for a rainy day, and yep, it looks like it is a rainy day now, but that's probably where we're going to call it for this episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide. Folks, thank you so much for joining me as we breed a few turtles and have some fun over there. I will probably return to that island in future to do a little bit more terraforming and set dressing for it, but right now I was just excited about the turtle stuff. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to leave a like on it if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.